Hey everyone, I'm Heinz and welcome back to another video from SIC Forex. I hope that you are having a profitable trading week, and in this video we're going to take a closer look at the grid H level which is available on the MQL5 marketplace. Now the bot is available for both MetaTrader 4 and MetaTrader 5, and it is a grid style bot that uses support and resistance levels and the valuable zigzag indicator to determine the universal trend. Additionally, this bot can be used with a multitude of different strategies, so let's take a closer look at its description. Now, the grid H level for MT5 currently has a 4.83 rating on the MQL website and is available for both MetaTrader 4 and MetaTrader 5. Now, it is very important to note that this expert advisor is not fully automatic, but rather a semi-automatic system. And the way that it's been intended to be used is to use an average string strategy around important support and resistance zones. This means it opens trades with an averaging in the reversal points of the market and then trades in the direction of the overall global trend. For the global trend, the expert advisor uses an indicator called the valuable zigzag on the H4 timeframe. So let's take a closer look at that, which forms a part of the Elliott wave theory and is a process that sees the market in waves rather than just straight line. Now, the idea of the indicator is to display the wave structure of the market, so this can help you to make better trading decisions. And the idea behind using these levels is to then determine whether the support and resistance zones might be and to trade from these zones. So to use the expert advisor, what you need to do, and I always recommend please do it on demo first, is to set the expert on a chart and then set the specific initial parameters for capital management. Then additionally, you can set the trading's direction and the strategy for opening the first order. Then you need to plot the horizontal support and resistance levels on the chart above and below the price, and afterwards this is where the indicator will then trade. Now, importantly, we do have a few different money management options, so make sure to pay close attention to each one of these three options. Alternatively, you have the choice of setting a custom amount for 0.01. Then the next important thing is the direction of the trade. Now for this, we have five different options where if you'd like it to set it off and only manage the trades that are open, that is option number one. Then to operate only in a buy direction, you can do that as well. And the same for a sell direction only. Last but not least, you have the mode in which the expert advisor places both a buy and a sell, which is our bi-directional trading. Last option is the auto direction, which it uses the valuable zigzag indicator on the 4-hour time frame to determine what order and what direction to start in. Then additionally to the direction, you also need to set the grid start strategy, which also has four different options available. After you've set the trading direction, you can choose to always be in the market. Alternatively, you can select the direction of the bar. You can also use a MACD signal. And then last but not least, the custom mode, which is trading from the levels on the chart. So what I'd recommend you do is test each of these on demo to understand exactly how they work. And what I'll also be doing is giving us a little more information about how each of these modes interact with each other. When it comes to always in the market, this is the mode that will be the most active as it will constantly be opening new grid orders as soon as the previous one has been closed. When it comes to the direction of the bar, you need to also set the quantity of previous candles and additionally the time frame of which candles it is using. On top of these two very important things, you also have your minimum distance between grid orders, your maximum number of orders in a grid, and a quantity of do not open more than one per candle. Now, what I'd recommend you do is add these different settings and run it on a visual mode. Then on the visual mode, you can specifically see how each of the settings apply to that expert advisor. To understand the correct or recommended way to trade the expert advisor is using it as a semi-automated system where you identify support and resistance levels and then use the averaging from the support and resistance zones. Now, what we would be using for my example today is we are going to use the valuable zigzag to show us the global direction of the trend on the 4-hour time frame. Then on top of that, you'll see that the frequency is determined by what type of strategy or starting strategy you are selecting. So depending on how many trades you want or how few trades you want, you can always change it to one of the four appropriate options. Then on top of all of this, it also uses a trailing stop function, which can be dynamic, meaning you can trail your entire grid for a very long time. For those of you that are interested in using both horizontal and vertical trend lines, these can also be used with this free expert advisor. Now, the great thing about this expert advisor, not only is it very customizable, but it does have a wide variety of different choices and options for us to take advantage of. So what we are going to do next is head over to my MetaTrader 5 and I'm going to show you some of the experiments that I've been doing using the grid H level. So for those of you that are interested in testing along, feel free to download the Expert Advisor for your own computer. So here we have the grid H level in action. And what you will see is I have loaded the valuable zigzag on the 15-minute time frame, which is the time frame that I'm using to test the expert advisor. And then on the turning points in the market, I have placed the support and resistance or supply and demand zones. Alternatively, you can also trade it in a multitude of different ways. So let's take a look at another example. Now, very important, the first thing that you need to set is your own money management. And for this, we have 4 different options, including a custom divider that can determine the size of the following grid orders. Now, when it comes to the direction of the trade, where we have those 5 different options, the one that I have been testing is the O2, which trades in the direction of the valuable zigzag indicator, which is running on the 4-hour time frame. So the valuable zigzag indicator works as a part of the Elliott wave theory, meaning the market moves between different phases of consolidation and distribution. By using the indicator on a higher time frame, we are able to trade in the direction of the overall global trend. Additionally to this, I also run it on the 15-minute time frame just to help me identify the areas where I would like to place my support and resistance zones. So what we are going to do is I'm going to show you a few different ways that you can trade it. So the one that I'm currently trading here is the semi-automated system. However, on the strategy test, I've also created a set file that trades completely autonomously. And for this, I used a MACD entry signal with a take profit of 20 and a trailing stop of 15 with a step of 5. Then for the grid start strategy, this is very important to determine how often you would like to be in the market. If you were to select always in the market, as soon as one grid closes, another one immediately starts. Then when it comes to the direction of the bar, it uses the current quantity of candles where you determine the coefficient of the size of the candles, which is set to 4 on default, and then it also uses the current time frame. The last 2 options, which are the MACD, which is the most precise option, is one that I ran the strategy test for. However, you do need to take into consideration it does take a very long time. Then the options for the semi-automated system is reading the levels on the chart. This means the expert advisor will only trade depending on the levels that you have set, either it being trend lines, horizontal lines, whichever one you want. On top of this, we also have our MACD options, which is the one that I recommend, which gave me the most precise results. For this, then, you have your last options, which is the valuable zigzag indicator itself. And then we also have a small news filter to keep us out of the largest news events. So for these settings, I did a test from the 10th of January 2022 until the 31st of August 2023 on the Euro USD using the 15-minute time frame, and I used every tick based on real ticks, which is the most accurate way to test your expert advisors. So this strategy test that I ran was completely automated, meaning I didn't draw any manual levels on the chart, and I only used the MACD signal to determine when the bot should enter. And what we'll see from it, because of the fact that it uses a grid, it can experience a large quantity of drawdown. However, overall, the back tests do look really impressive. As you'll see, we have a very good growth on the balance, and even though we had the periods of drawdown, the bot was able to recover. So what we are going to do next is let's take a closer look at what the actual backtesting results were, and then we can also see how I traded. So from the backtesting results, we see a total net profit of $2,980.47 during the period, with a profit factor of 3.13. We did have a very high equity drawdown of $2,326 or over 50%. However, because of its averaging style, it did have a very high win rate of 68.29%. Now, because we set the specific hours for entry and exit, the bot only trades between 9 and 9 every day. It is currently set to trade all 5 days of the week and all months of the year, so we'll take a closer look at how it does in the live market. So the idea behind trading it, or the recommended way to trade the expert advisor, is to determine the most accurate support and resistance zones on the chart, and then let the expert advisor trade from these levels. So for the one that I am testing live, you'll see this one has a very small take profit of 10 as I'm experimenting with the different grid start strategies. For this one, I'm using the direction of the bar, which is also a conservative way of entering, and it only reads the horizontal lines on the chart. And what we can see from this is it uses that averaging style or martingale grid to enter and exit the trades. So in general, the bot does trade a lot dependent on the grid start strategy that you have selected. And when it comes to the direction of the trade, for my recommendation, I would stick to the direction of the valuable zigzag indicator. So by determining your own support and resistance levels, this is the first that you can use this semi-automated system to generate nice profits in the Forex market. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be testing the expert advisor, validating some settings and looking at how it trades. But what I recommend you do is open up a demo account with your broker so that you can test it for yourself. It is very important to note that this is not a fully automatic expert advisor, but rather to be used as a tool as a part of your trading strategy, where you come in and update the zones every few days or every few hours according to what time frame you are trading. And because of this, the bot does give us the opportunity to spend time in the market and learn from these levels according to the flow of what happens. So these different levels that have been identified provide us with a great entry and exit opportunity. And on top of this, using the valuable zigzag on the 4-hour time frame makes it much easier to determine what direction the overall market is trading in. So a few days later, we'll see here from the example What I did is I identified the different zones using the valuable zigzag on a lower time frame. And the 4 hour overall determines the trend of the overall market. So you'll see we had predominantly sell trades. So as the market approached one of these zones, you'll see it entering, and then we were able to secure a nice profit during this short week of trading. So, what I'd like you to do is comment down below with your thoughts on the expert advisor. Let me know if you're going to test it and which one of the settings and strategies you'll be using. So, for myself, as I'll be testing this one and alongside it on the live market, I hope that you make sure to join us for that. So, I hope that you found today's video to be helpful. If you enjoyed any part of it, feel please drop it a like and also subscribe. So I want to say thank you for watching and happy trading. Until next time, bye.